Click the right button. Just gonna check the old audio real quick. Click the right button.
Audio.
Just gonna check the old audio real quick. Click the right button.
Audio.
Perfect. Sorry, everybody. We've just had that happen once before where we had no audio and we didn't know till we were halfway through not here on another podcast. We didn't know till we were like 40 minutes in. And then somebody was like, we can't hear you. But anyway, welcome again. It's been a minute. Life happens. To Down the Middle podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Stevie Wicks Cool Beans Candle Company. More on them later. So tonight, as promised, we're going to do the whole, like, it's not really fantasy booking. It's more like fantasy CEOing or fantasy managing of AEW. But before that, my esteemed colleague on the screen, it's to my right, but as I'm looking at it, it's to my left, but it's mirrored, so it's all kinds of confusing. He did bring up a good point. See, here lately, we've been a little AEW-centric, and WWE did have, from what I understand, a pretty good show. So Brian wants to touch on Extreme Rules, and then we will get into who, if we were in charge of AEW, we would be firing.
So, all around, it was a great show. It's definitely been one of my top favorites of the last 5 years, other than WrestleMania. And that's, well, WrestleMania is obviously probably top of the one in the last 10 years. But what I'm saying is Extreme Rules, because of that returns is one of my all-time favorites of this generation. The first match was really good. It was a 6-man tornado style tag. It was I can't remember the word exactly what they called it. It's like a Belfast brawl. It's like an Irish pub type thing where it had like barrels and like stuff that was like kind of like Irish like. So it was Imperium and I can't ever remember their actual name.
Is it Sheamus?
But it was Sheamus. Yeah, it was Sheamus's crew. Sheamus and Butch, Pete Dunne. I'm never going to call him Butch. And Rod. I think Raj is his name. It was, in my opinion, it was a 6-man that was based off of Sheamus and Gunther. Is the way it seemed like to me. It was mainly Sheamus and Gunther going at it, and then the other tags were like interfering. Sheamus and came on top. I was okay with it because Sheamus and them have been getting shit on. Oh, I gotta wash my mouth. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Danhausen's not long for this world. If I have anything to say about, I don't mean he's gonna die. I mean he's not gonna be around.
Second match was the women's world title, Raw, Bianca and Bayley.
So,
and I'm not
quick question. I saw a video. Mm-hmm. Did Bayley get injured somehow? Because it looked like she did.
I think she did. And it was the elbow drop from the apron onto Bianca with the ladder set up.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the ladder, there was no dent on it. And then after the ladder, there was a huge like dent in it.
But it was like her face.
No, it was her hip.
Oh, I'm talking about her face. Because there was one point, I don't remember what Bianca did, but she like took her down.
She did the KOD. So Bayley had the ladder. Bianca picked her up, gave her the KO. When she went over for the KOD, it looked like she smacked her chin or her lip or something. I don't know if she's like injured. It looks like she definitely got hurt. If she's hurt at all, she'd probably be gone for maybe a week or two just to kind of boo-boo it up.
Yeah, it looked nasty.
It did look gross. I was like, ooh. There was a lot of spots within the show. It was like, ooh, that was kind of gross.
It's like sometimes there's spots where you can tell like, oh, that hurt, but then there's some that are just like, oh.
Yes, like from a wrestler's point of view, like some spots like, oh god, like you can feel it.
That's me every time I see a thumbtack spot. That's me. I'm just like, ugh.
Thumbtacks are not bad at all, personally to me. So it wasn't a stinker. It definitely wasn't one of the better matches. Neither of the women's was one of the better matches. But it wasn't the greatest either. I really don't care for, like, Io and whatever her Dakota both came out and interrupted at one point and literally did nothing at all, and Bianca took them both out like it was nothing. Gave them a double KOD, and they about messed up because Bianca was going to hit the KOD on Io, and Dakota was still up on the top. Well, I don't think Bianca noticed it at first because she was going to go with Io, and then Dakota like grabbed her and was like, "Hey, fuck over here! You need to throw me too." So he pulled him up and did it. Bianca won pretty clean. It was like too clean in my opinion. And like Bayley got up on the ladder one time and climbed it to try to get the belt. And she was literally stopped within like 5 seconds. I mean, I know that's the purpose of it, but you got to give Bayley a little bit more of the, oh crap, she may get this and beat Bianca. End of the day, Bianca won. One of the lower matches of the night for me, in my opinion. The next match, that was number 2 of 6. Next match would have been.
Can we just say real quick that WWE seems to be, like, their pay-per-view links seem to be pretty perfect. Whereas AEW, AEW seems to, the last couple have just kind of been like, how much can we throw at this, to the point where they have matches that shouldn't even be on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think. Okay, so it was tag, or there was a 6-man women's. Okay. I'm going to say what I remember. If I forget about it, you can let us know down in the comments, and I'll apologize for it.
Oh, trust me, there's going to be.
I remember now.
There's going to be comments. And then also, if you're watching this and you're not watching the live broadcast, again, if you want to just get straight to the AEW stuff, just skip forward a little bit. But I recommend you stick around because apparently the show is really, really good. I just haven't had the opportunity to watch it. But definitely leave your opinions down in the comments for sure, because this should be a conversation, but nobody ever engages. So what do you want from us?
So the next match that I do remember is Liv and Ronda. I'm not gonna lie, it looked like they were literally beating the shit out of each other. Like it looked too real.
Did Ronda's ring gear fit this time?
That's like asking if Austin drank a beer at a show.
So no?
No, it didn't. No, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it fit her for the most part. She didn't fix it 100 times like she usually does. That match overall was still one of the lower card ones that I just didn't really care about. Ronda won by tap out, but she didn't tap out, but she God, what is she? Oh, I'm having a brain fart right now. It's not you tap out. You submit.
She gave up?
She gave up. The ref just kind of rung the bell. She couldn't finish the match.
Oh, it was a referee stoppage.
Yeah, it was a referee stoppage, and Ronda won. And when that happened, Liv was smiling. So I don't know if that was supposed to happen, or like she was supposed to like give that smile of like, hey, I didn't tap out. You know what I mean? Which I would have rather seen Liv keep it a little longer because, you know, I'm not saying Ronda's bad, but I don't think.
Well, what they did is
I think Ronda's there.
They kind of
there for the paycheck.
Yeah, but they kind of booked themselves into a corner with Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey because Ronda's whole thing, and it's true, is Ronda's the baddest woman on the planet. So she loses a title to Liv Morgan, who, don't get me wrong, I like Liv Morgan, but the way they booked her, she wasn't much of anything. And plus, I'm not going to say she cheated, but she won like a heel when she's clearly a babyface. And now they've given her an out because she can say, like, which again is something a heel would do, is say, well, I didn't tap out. It's like, do they want Liv Morgan to be a heel? Because, I mean, if you do, that's fine. But, I mean, the audience is cheering for her, so I would suggest going full babyface. And at least with this, she can go back up against Ronda. But it's not how I would have done it from the very beginning.
It's not how I would have done it either, and I agree with you. I think they're trying to move Liv. I think they're trying to move Liv into that, like, almost to like an Alexa Bliss, like how she can be, like she can try to act heel and kind of be heel, but she's a baby face and she's getting cheered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm gonna channel my inner Jim Cornette here for a second because I suspect this is what he would say. Is why are you making it so goddamn complicated? If the audience is cheering for him, they're a babyface. If the audience is booing them, they're a heel. If you want the audience to cheer for somebody, book them like a babyface. If you want the audience to boo somebody, book them like a heel. But it seems like ever since Austin and The Rock, but mostly Austin, they've gotten into this really weird habit of booking babyfaces like heels when it doesn't make sense to do so.
I agree with you. I really do, and I'm not saying it's bad booking because it's just they booked herself in a weird corner.
But I guess it's a really easy thing to do. Like, let's say hypothetically that they've got a wrestler and they want to turn them heel, but the audience starts cheering for them. Okay, you know how you get out of that? You can do it one of two ways. You either have them do something so bad, which is hard to do nowadays, so you'd probably go with the second one. You have them do something so bad that, you know, the audience, most of the audience can't stand by, because there's always going to be some people that will cheer the heels no matter what. It just is what it is. But what you could do that's a lot easier to do is, oh, the audience is cheering this person. Okay, well, what would give an athlete like that a change of heart more than the people getting behind them? Just start booking them. Just have them start acting more like a babyface. It's real easy. They can do something to where, like, you know, if they're being booked as a heel previously and the audience starts cheering, you can have them do a spot where, like, they're getting ready to take somebody out with a chair, but then they hesitate and they're like, no, like, yeah, that's something I would do, but that was before, like, the people got behind me, and now I've got to be better. It's easy. It's easy.
So Ronda came out on top on that one. Yeah. I don't care either way, to be honest. Next match would have been Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match. It was a good match for what it was. It was good for a match that you would see Edge and Finn Balor in. They worked around the crowd a little bit. That was kind of cool. They don't do that very often. Like, they went like higher up for the normal things. Like how for the finish of it, they had Judgment Day come out and obviously do the beatdown and attack. Seen that coming. Eventually, Ray came out to help Edge, and then they had Dominic Ray out. I don't know, more and more, I sometimes I think in the back of my head, I'm like, Survivor Series '05 is Eddie really, is Dominic really Ray's son? Is Dominic's really Ray's son? Because he looks so similar with this haircut he's got.
Oh. I thought it was going to fix that. Sorry, folks. He'll be back here momentarily. Bear with us one moment.
Well, I'm back again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I have no idea. I have a good signal on my end. It shows good signal on your end.
Yeah, I don't know. You're starting to sound better, though. That was weird.
So back to what I was saying. They had to beat down with Edge and them, or Judgment Day. Ray came to try to save, and Eddie. I'm about to call him Eddie. Dominic took Ray out. There was a big beat down and everything, and then Beth showed up. Came up from the back and held Edge for a minute until Rhea came in and sucker punched Beth with a pair of brass knuckles and knocked her out. There was a big beat down again on Edge, and they were forcing him to say, "I quit," and he kept saying no. Rhea went out, got some chairs, and was going to give the concerto, and he finally gave up and said, "I quit." And even though he said, "I quit," Rhea still hit the concerto on Beth. So Finn got the win. I think they're trying to push the whole Judgment Day thing a little too far, in my opinion. I mean, it's working out for what it is, but I think they're doing too much with it.
Yeah, and some of the Dom stuff is pretty cringe. Like it's pretty weird.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, Dom's pulling it off. He's pulling off the heel, but it's kind of, it's bits and pieces of what he does is what he can pull it off. I'm not saying it's all great.
I don't know. I always kind of find myself looking at it and I'm like, how are they not just busting out laughing at how silly and weird this all is? And I understand his hairstyle is supposed to be like harkening back to Eddie Guerrero, but it's not. It's not like that anymore. You look like a fucking idiot. Like the mullet is not a thing. Stop. Just stop.
So that was that match. The main event, I expected it to be main event, but I didn't expect it to be main event. It was the pit fight between Rollins and Matt Riddle. Again, it was a match for what it was. I'm not saying it was great. It was good.
Hey, buddy, you're cutting out again.
Am I still here?
You're kind of, but you're like gravelly and you're starting to cut out.
Nothing's changed in my end. I ain't moving anything at all. I stayed in the same spot the whole time.
I don't know, man. I think your internet's just meh.
Yeah, it is meh. Very sus most of the time.
Who's your internet company?
I live out in the country, so I got to go with Frontier. So,
hey,
Comcast or anybody don't come out this way.
Hey, Frontier, do better.
Yeah, fix yourself.
Do better.
Come on, Vince.
Anyway, you're better now.
I moved where my phone was for a second. The main event, it was great. Like I said, it was great. They did some great spots, some cool spots. Riddle came out to win. They had a special guest referee that was a former Hall of Famer. I don't remember his name because I'd never heard of him before. And he played off pretty well with the whole happened to be the ref because Rollins pushed the ref and he got in his face and everything. Was like told him like, hey, I'm the ref and you don't listen to what I have to say. What I think's weird is another tap out spot. Matt Riddle tapped Seth Rollins out. And I'm like, why are they going with so many submission spots to finish is what I want to know. That match I could see it. Now, the Liv and Ronda match, I guess I understand because
Oh, whatever you're doing now, it looks a lot better.
I don't know, but it'll be lost across the river in a minute. Let me try a little something different.
We're going to try a little something different. Tell you what, while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and tell the people about the great sponsor of today's podcast while you get situated. Stevie Wicks Cool Beans Candle Company, high quality soy wax candles to fill your home with any scent you choose. And a special announcement is for a limited time only. This is one of, I believe, 6 special Halloween candles. This particular one is the Witch's Brew. And as you can see, it's got some Halloween-themed scent-boosting tarts. You can only see the one on top. There's one in the middle, too. And every Witch's Brew candle is different. So as the candle burns, you can see the witch's special ingredients. And for my next trick, I will make my partner reappear at an undisclosed time. It's part of the potion. And there he is, just like I said. It's magic, I say. Magic! Anyway, you can get this or all of the Halloween-themed candles, plus any of the regular ones, at steviewicks.com, STEVIEWIX.com, but the Halloween candles are only available for a limited time, so get them while you can before they're gone.
Forever.
Well, no, not until next year, but... I mean forever.
Now to my favorite part of SummerSlam. Survivor Series, Extreme Rules. One of them shows. Hey, I've been watching a lot of wrestling, actually, like a lot of old stuff. My head's all over the place right now. Extreme Rules was after the match. So lights go as Matt Riddle was going to leave, like through the entranceway. Lights go out. All the phones come out, and all we hear is, "We've got the whole world in our hand." Bray's old theme song, and he sings it, and it repeats once, and it repeats twice, and then it repeats a third time. And this is all in the pitch black. Then there's a big light comes down on part of the crowd, and it's somebody dressed as Husky Harris, like the husky, the pig mask and everything. Then it zooms back out. It's still singing, "I got the whole world in my hands." Then it zooms in. Then it's Mercy the Buzzard. Zooms back out. Zooms in on another area. And it's like every 30 seconds or something like that. Nothing like fast. Zooms back in, and it's the rabbit. I don't remember the rabbit's name. The Then it zooms back out, zooms in one more time, and it's Sister Abigail. Does it again. Then it zooms in on the commentary table, and on the commentary table is the Burnt Fiend mask. Zooms back out one more time. Then it zooms in on like next to the apron, like where they would like get speared through or something, and it's somebody or what you thought at first would have been the Fiend, like full dressed up and everything. Then it zooms back out, and like this whole time it's singing that song. I've got the whole world in our hands, and like I'm literally sitting at the edge of my seat, watching the screen, wondering what in the world is going on right now.
It's Bray Wyatt.
Well, yeah, obviously. Then it zooms back out again, and then it zooms to the entrance, and it's like this big giant. It would have been like, it looks like a little shed with no like top on it, and it has a door that's glowing. Well, and then in the background, there's this little table, and then they zoom in on the background, like on the Titantron, and you go in, and it zooms back out to like full screen for it, and it's the Firefly Funhouse, and like it's all dark and cobwebbed over and everything, and like all the characters look like they're like, it looks like the Firefly Funhouse hasn't been used in the last 2 years, obviously since Bray's been gone. And then it zooms back one more time, and the door opens, just big bright light. Door opens, zooms in on it. Somebody walks out with the lantern and this weird looking mask. I don't know if you've seen any like previews for like that horror movie that just came out recently called The Black Phone.
Yeah.
So it looks like that mask. And he walks out. And he stands there. And the whole crowd is going, holy shit, dude, holy shit chants. And in my head, I'm doing holy shit chants too, because I agree with him. Holy shit. He pulls the mask off slowly, and it's actually Bray holding the lantern. And like this is like the Bray we've seen before the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
Eater of all worlds Bray. And then he goes, I'm here, blows the candle out, screen goes black, and all it shows is the logo of like a moth or butterfly, like flipped upside down with like the Fiend's like a Fiend mask with it crossed out. If you watch it, it's so much better than like me telling you in person, because it was literally like what settled the show for me.
It sounds like an AEW return.
It wasn't.
I mean, to just show up like that.
Oh, it was bigger than any AEW return. Like
now
I could think of.
I'm sure it doesn't compare to the Kenny Omega return.
Oh, the return that ever somebody comes out, they do it on a regular TV show and sit there and talk.
I'm gonna kick your ass in 2 weeks on Rampage.
Yeah. For free.
Yeah, for free. Oh, buddy.
Oh my god.
All right, let's fire some.
That was. Yeah, let's get to AEW now.
Okay, so I want to go through the talent, but I'm not going to go through things like the coaches and referees, even though half the referees should be fired. But I'm going to start with the broadcasters, and we can breeze through these. Tony Schiavone.
I personally would keep him.
I'd keep him. I know a lot of people complain about Tony, and he's not the greatest, but I don't dislike him. So yeah, I'd keep him. How about Taz? See, Taz I'm keeping. I think Taz is one of their better color guys.
And he is, but he seems like he messes up way too much. or he stutters a lot when he's talking. Not really stuttering. It's like he can't get the words out.
I'm gonna have to listen because I don't really notice that.
So I'm thinking of Jr.
Well, but so we both agree we keep Taz.
Yeah.
Because here's how we're gonna make this fun. You and I end up having to agree because the game here is that we're managing AEW.
Oh, we agree on a lot of things. So I think this ain't gonna be too bad.
There's a handful, but yeah. So we agree we're gonna keep Taz. Justin Roberts.
He's the mask guy. Ain't he?
No, Justin Roberts. He's the ring announcer and one of my favorite ring announcers ever. We're keeping him.
Yeah, keep him.
JR.
Yeah, I did brain fart for the Justin Roberts thing. JR.
Yep.
I think JR is one of the people that you could keep for like a big pay-per-view.
I would suggest that you make JR the voice of Dynamite and pay-per-views. I would personally. Here's how I would do it. Well, I would have JR be on Dynamite and pay-per-views. I would have Taz lead Rampage, but also be on pay-per-views.
Okay, that I can agree on. I can agree on that.
But Taz is a color guy, so you'd have to have somebody on there. So that's where this next one is a mixed bag for me. So we've got Excalibur.
I think he's somebody that I think we could do without him, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I would, if I was working there today, I don't know that I'd fire him, but I think it would be one of those things where it's like, hey, listen, dude, it's been cute and all, but take off the damn mask.
Yeah.
Or you're fired.
And personally, I don't know Excalibur out of the mask. I don't know who he is. I don't know nothing about him other than a commentator.
It would be one thing if he was a legend that wrestled with a mask on. He did wrestle with a mask on, but he was no legend. He was one of the co-founders of PWG.
Yeah, if he was no. Oh, really?
Yeah, but PWG is not, the NWA.
No.
It's lose the mask or lose the mask or lose your job. It's been cute, but let's try to treat this with a modicum of seriousness. So I'd say that Excalibur I might keep around if he was willing to ditch the stupid mask. And at least try it out.
We could use it. Yeah. Or maybe do something without the mask and he can be a backstage commentator or backstage reporter or something.
Well, because here's the tragedy is a lot of people say Excalibur sucks, and I don't think he sucks per se. I think he's demonstrated he can actually be quite good as a commentator, but it's just the mask. I don't know. But yeah, I would say no mask or there's the door. All right, then we got Dasha Gonzalez, who has pretty much been just like a backstage interviewer. I've got no issue with what she's been doing. She ring announces sometimes too, and I think it's been.
Yeah, I think she can be keeper.
I think you need to have at least.
There has been. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think it's a good idea to have at least one female announcer or interviewer. In fact, I'd probably try to get at least one more girl somewhere on the broadcast team. But as far as who we're keeping, I'd keep Dasha.
Yeah.
All right, Alex Marvez. I say this without trying to be.
With him, I'm good at that.
I mean, with him, I try not to sound like a jerk, but I'd fire him. I'd fire him with a handshake and be like, "You tried your best, Alex. This just isn't your deal."
Yeah. Again, I'm not a overly huge with like the backstage people and everything when it comes to AEW. So Ryan, I'll agree with you. Okay, I will agree to disagree for the circumstance. I'm back.
Not quite yet. Nope.
I don't know what's going on this.
I don't either. It's weird. But I'll tell you what, actually, this meeting's about to die, so I'm just going to start a new one anyway. So we'll be back momentarily. All right, we'll be returning to the chopping block shortly. Do. We're just waiting for connection. I cannot hear you.
Hear you.
I kinda hear you.
Hear me now.
Kinda. I can kinda hear you.
I think I can hear you. Are we good now?
I can hear you. All right. We got one more broadcaster though, and I almost don't even want to bring it up because like he's obviously staying as Alex Abrahantes.
Yeah. I think he's good to keep.
Yep. So now we get into the women's division, and this is where people are going to get mad.
Scoop.
Scoop.
Just take it all. Just push it all to the side.
Oh, I don't know. There's a couple we might disagree. Okay, we got Yuka Sakazaki, who I didn't even know was on the roster. So
I don't even know who that is.
She's the magical girl, and I don't hate what she's doing, but I don't see where she's necessary. So I would probably, I don't think I'd necessarily fire her, but I'm not sure what her deal is either. I would probably change it to where like it'd be on a per match sort of thing. Like, if we need some extra women or we want to get some Joshi in here, we'll like maybe one like of those things.
Something.
Yeah, something like those. But it'd be like a per match sort of thing. It's like your main shtick is in Japan, but
I can agree with that. I think I can agree.
Okay, and then we got Toni Storm. This might surprise some people. I'd keep her. I
know my
don't
opinion.
I don't get it, but the fans love her, and at the end of the day, we're trying to make money, and if they want to see Tony Storm, by God, they're going to see Tony Storm.
Completely agree with that one.
All right, then we got Thunder Rosa, who I'd keep her. I don't know what they're doing with her, but I'd keep her, and I'd book her a hell of a lot better than they have been.
I personally don't like her.
May I ask why?
When I watch wrestling, I look at the gimmick as a whole, like from the entrance to what she's wearing to how she portrays it and what she does with it. I just, in my opinion, I don't like the way. I don't like the whole half face paint thing.
Okay, so my goal is I have to convince you to keep her on, or you have to convince me to release her. So here's another perk of Thunder Rosa, and this might not seem like a big deal, but in the long run, it is. She runs her own wrestling promotion, and I believe there's a school there. But even if there's not a school, it's still worthwhile. Mission Pro Wrestling in Texas, and it's an all-female promotion. This could be beneficial because there have been a number of talents featured on Dark and Dark Elevation who came from Mission Pro Wrestling.
Okay, so she brings us to access to more talent.
Potentially, if we want/need it.
It gives us the capability of sending some of our other talent down there if we wanted to help promote AEW as a whole.
And if they just need some work.
Yeah. Sending some of the more seasoned people down there to spice things up a little bit.
It'd be a beneficial relationship for both parties. Now, personally, I like Thunder Rosa, and I like the presentation. And she's obviously, she was over with fans before. I don't know where it went awry, but I have to blame the booking because before it went south, she was one of the most over female wrestlers on the roster.
So I think that's something I can agree with you. I can agree to keep the. I think it's beneficial to have us all around.
All right, so we're keeping Thunder Rosa. What about Ty Mello?
Yeah.
I personally
trying to remember
Sammy's girl. Personally, I'm keeping her. I'm keeping her because she's shown that she can be a really good babyface and be popular with the crowd, or she can be a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, it also gives the option to put her with Sami Zayn as like a mixed tag.
You mean Sammy Guevara, but yes.
Yeah, Sami Zayn.
Man, yeah, and they've done. In fact, I think they're still the AAA mixed tag champions.
I believe so.
Yeah, so
at least less than her.
Yeah, something like that.
I can agree to keep her.
So Ty, Serena Deeb, she's staying.
Serena Deeb.
The professor of pro wrestling, my friend.
I'm being completely honest with you, when it comes to like the female AEW wrestlers, I really don't recognize them. I'm going to agree with you for that reason. Shame on me.
Yeah. Well, this one you will know. Saraya, formerly known as Paige.
I would kick her to the curb. I think she's still too prone right now. Like, in my opinion, if WWE didn't clear, why would our doctors and stuff clear? You know what I mean? Because
Well,
WWE obviously knows what they're doing. You know what I mean?
I do and I don't. Here's the thing: I'm not privy to my thoughts on this are completely conditional upon seeing the medical information and assuming that she's been cleared from a reputable medical professional or professionals, more than likely. If it were up to me and she was medically good, I would keep her, but I would have her wrestle very sparingly. And she would eventually become my AEW Women's World Champion, but be treated like a champion. Kind of like they do with Jade, because Jade Cargill doesn't really wrestle on TV all that often. It's usually on a pay per view. She's on TV fairly regularly, but she usually doesn't wrestle. But Saraya has name value. I mean, just right there. And I'm going to say something that some people are probably going to disagree with. I don't think that the AEW women's roster is bad in terms of talent. It's been terrible in terms of booking. A lot of their talent is good. They just haven't been booked well at all.
I still think a lot of them are not. I think a lot of them are still too green, in my opinion.
Sure, and we'll get there.
You can't book bad wrestling and mistakes.
Sure, you can. You can by putting people in there who shouldn't be in there with other people who shouldn't be in there. Like if you've got and you can agree, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've got a wrestler who's kind of green, if you put him in there with a legit veteran that can sort of lead the match and help cover mistakes damn it.
I'm here.
There he is.
Don't know what's going on. Next time I will figure something out.
Okay. So, but anyway, we were still on Saraya. You know what? I think I could agree, again, assuming we're both managers, I would agree to a wait and see sort of thing with this where we'd evaluate the medical. We would have some kind of like supervised in-ring work just to make sure that she was good. And then after that, we could reevaluate. Because I'd want to keep her, but only if she could do it safely and consistently.
Okay, so I think you convinced me. I will agree to keep her only for the reasons and only if she is doing it safely enough. And I'm not saying I'm going to book her to do a death match next week.
Oh, hell no. No. Yeah, no. We decide what we would decide. Well, and technically the booker would decide what to do because we're just management. But if we were booking, if we were booking too, we would decide what to do with her after we knew what the situation was going to be. Up next, we got Ruby Soho, who I would keep, but I have no idea why they've been booking her the way they've been booking her.
I agree. I would keep her in a heartbeat. I think Ruby is one of them people. She's good as a singles, but I think she is even better when she's part of a stable.
Yep. So we have our first firing of the women's division. Riho.
Get her out of here.
Yeah, she's gone. I've been over this. No hate for Riho, but no, she's gone.
Not my cup of tea.
All right. Red Velvet.
Red Velvet.
So I like Red Velvet, but I think most people would agree that she still needs some work, but she hasn't really been on Dynamite all that much. She's kind of, in my opinion, where she needs to be. She's mostly wrestling on like Dark and Dark Elevation. She really stepped up for the company when they were doing that special Shaq match. It was supposed to be Brandy and Cody versus Shaq and Jade, but
Yeah.
obviously Brandy got pregnant, so Red Velvet stepped up. And it was a good match, but I've also seen Red Velvet make a lot of in-ring mistakes that have resulted in, I don't know how she hasn't paralyzed herself, much less anybody else. But I don't want to speak too much to that because, again, I'm not a worker, but I mean, I've seen her do a moonsault and land on her neck. Like,
I, okay, she's one of the people I think I would fire her, and I think I would bring her back at a little bit later time once she's got more ring work underneath of her.
so keep this in mind, because I would agree. I would let that one go if you were very. But keep in mind, if you release somebody, they may get hired by the other people. Although, I'll be real. In Red Velvet's case, I doubt it. But
yeah, well, in my opinion, I think I have enough going for me as with the females division already. I think she's someone I could let go. And if she's around when I need somebody to pick up, or if she's getting hot enough, I can pick her back up if she's available.
agreed. Okay, so we would release Red Velvet with the thing of like, hey, listen, go get some more experience. If we need you for like a bit match here and there, we can we call you? Or, we'll keep an eye, like, we'll touch base in 6 months to a year. How about that? That sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Rebel, who I don't really, this almost isn't, because she doesn't really wrestle all that often. She's more of a manager type figure for Britt Baker, which I like. So I'd probably keep her in the role that she's still in. She can work, so if she needs to take bumps, she can.
I'll agree with the keeper.
Okay, Rebel stays.
I think as long as she stays in what position she is right now, and like you said, she has to take that bump every once in a while or have to do some kind of suplex or something, she would be okay.
Yep. Next we have Penelope Ford.
No.
I'll be honest, I don't really know. Because again, I don't dislike Penelope Ford, and I hate to say it this way, but it's true. She is eye candy for the male audience, but I don't. I'd probably go with whatever you thought about Penelope Ford.
I would let her go.
Okay, Penelope Ford goes.
Honestly, because I think I think we have so many so much talent already.
Yep.
That I don't think we need her.
Yep. Okay, agreed. Paige Van Zant. Bye.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if she had got some more work underneath her belt and she comes back in 6 months to a year and actually prove that she can do it.
They just put her out there too early is all. It's like you said, she just needs some more work. Okay, then we got Nyla Rose. I'd keep Nyla because the AEW women's division does not have a lot of big heavy hitters. Damn. Your internet is terrible, my friend. Damn, that's strong. Made with whipped wax, too, so it has that potiony look to it. A burst of evil scent.
Over there.
I am here.
Not the road. Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah. Yep, I can hear you.
So neither of us definitely. I think I agree with you. We don't have. She's one of very few many bigger people to help with that control. Like you always got to have the monster against the little baby face storylines like that. And
Yeah.
I think she's a good fit to stay in there. And
Alrighty. So next we have Mercedes Martinez.
I think we're here.
Oh,
I think we're good.
Yep.
I think we're cooking with.
All right.
You said Mercedes Martinez.
Yep.
I think somebody that could be worked on Rampage, and if she's needed as like a
I don't think we got it. Just kind of like. Yeah, there.
Here.
Oh no, you cut out a bit. You said she's somebody who could work on Rampage and.
She's somebody that can work on Rampage and be used for like battle royals and stuff, in my opinion.
Okay, so yeah, we can keep Mercedes. I'm indifferent about Mercedes Martinez, but I completely accept the fact that sometimes there's a talent that I don't get it, but people like. So yeah, we'll keep Mercedes. And I mean, we know she can do it. This one's a mixed bag for me too. Which she just came there was Madison Rayne.
You see, she's another one. I think we just keep on Rampage and just.
I know she can work.
I use on a just as needed basis.
Alrighty. So yeah, we keep Madison. How about Layla Hirsch?
I don't know if I've ever heard of that name, to be honest.
She was mostly on like Dark and Elevation. Now here's the thing: I like Layla Hirsch, but her size presents a problem because I think she's legitimately like 4'11", but she's also a legitimate Olympic athlete. I don't think not a gold medalist. I think she's a medalist, but like she can be used, but only so far because like, and I hate to say this, she'll never be AEW Women's World Champion.
No.
But I think she's a good. So I think she's a good workhorse to have in the company.
Yeah, agreeing on an as needed basis.
Yeah, but keep her on the roster because.
Yeah.
Okay, Leva Bates. You're fired.
You're fired.
Leva Bates, you're fired. Chris Statlander, wherever the hell she's been. She get injured again?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I haven't my eyes have been too much on WWE right now. Honestly,
I
I
just
really haven't kept
realized.
up with it.
I just realized I haven't even seen her in a while. I'd keep her. Um, my only condition would be that I don't necessarily mind her having the alien gimmick, but make it a little bit less goofy and maybe shift it more towards like a fandom thing rather than she's actually an alien. But they already
Yeah.
started to do that. Well, in fact, they changed her moniker from the galaxy's favorite alien to more than a woman. So okay, that's so shit. Ugh. But they're moving away from the alien. So Chris Statlander stays. Jamie
Yeah.
Hayter. Jamie Hayter stays, and we do whatever we can to make sure she's happy.
I, I agree with that one. As long as she's happy.
Yeah, Jamie Hayter stays, and she's Jade Cargill.
I think we can keep her.
Jade stays. I think she'd be. I think she would admit that she just needs to get more ring time. She'll get better and better as it goes.
Like I've seen some great matches, but like there's times where she has a lot of stinkers.
Well, and I kind of have a theory on that because I've noticed all the matches she's had that were really, really good, she had with really experienced veterans, and her stinker matches were with, like, for example, Anna Jay. The match she had with Anna Jay was a stinker. I would have never booked that, though. I don't blame either one of them because they both just need more experience. They're both good, they just need more experience.
Yeah.
But that match was a stinker, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, Tony, how could you do this to them? How could you hang them out to dry like that? So Jade stays. Hikaru Shida. She stays.
Yeah.
She can
stay.
Emi Sakura. What? I didn't even know she was on the roster. She's fired.
Yep. Fired.
Go.
I don't know if she is fired.
I don't mean this in any sort of racial way, but like go home. It would only be taken in a racial way because she's from Japan, and I don't mean it that way. I just mean go home. I'm not even gonna. In AEW, she's known as the Bunny, but everywhere else where rational human beings think, she's known as Allie, and they have completely killed whatever she had going for her. I'd keep her, and I would do my absolute best to rehabilitate her character and her presence because Allie is good.
She's good. I've seen a lot of good things from her. I mean, I think there could be some kind of character working away.
Oh, sure. She had a
keeper.
The one good program she really had was at the very beginning. She had it with Brandy Rhodes.
Okay, yeah, now I remember that.
It was a good program. Allie did phenomenal, and Brandy did really good. That's why everybody who shits on Brandy, I'm kind of like, no, Brandy's not booking herself. She can be quite good. So Allie stays. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will stay and will be kept extremely happy in whatever way is humanly possible.
Yeah. Yep.
Athena.
I think she can go. I think I would let her go.
See, well, okay. What's that?
She's a great wrestler. She's a good wrestler. She's good.
Yeah, that's why I'd want to keep her. But her character, like again, the way she's been booked has been awful. But she's a great wrestler.
Yeah, she's a great wrestler. Unless we are going to change up the way she is.
Oh, we are 100%.
I don't think we should keep her.
Oh, we're gonna change up everything about what, like, if they've been doing it with her in AEW, then it's changing.
Yeah.
So she stays, but with a massive character overhaul.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I'll be honest, this one I'd say just to keep because I haven't even really had time to see what she's got. AQA. She stays on a trial basis. And if it sucks...
Yeah, she's on dark.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. She stays, but just because I don't really know. Anna Jay.
She's
Again,
another one. Like
yeah.
I think she gets some more work under the belt. I think she's
Yeah.
somebody that we could keep.
Oh, 100. I think she stays, but again, she's strategically booked so she gets to work with people that are better than her. And with her, it's just a matter of time because she's kind of a natural because I think she had her first or second match ever in AEW.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember which, but I think it was her second match ever was in AEW. So I mean, she's a natural. She just again, she just needs more experience, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Oh, this one's gonna piss people off, but I mean it, and I'll fight for this one. Abaddon,
I again don't recognize who she is.
the walking horror movie, comes out to the ring crawling, and she usually got fake blood dripping down. She's supposed to be some kind of monster.
Oh, isn't she the one that works in TNA also or
Oh,
Impact?
I don't know,
Or is
but
that somebody else?
no, I think that's Rosemary you're thinking of.
Maybe that's who I am thinking of, is Rosemary.
Yeah, well, Abaddon is just she's fired. I won't go into the many reasons why for not wanting to be labeled a mean person, but like she's out of here. She's gone. She's done. Plus, she hasn't been on TV in ages. There's got to be a reason for that.
Probably why I don't recognize who.
Yeah, probably. So now we get to the men's, which they're including William Regal in this for some reason, but he's worth like William Regal. I'm keeping him on staff purely.
Easily.
Yeah, purely from a recruiting and coaching standpoint. He recruited for WWE for God, how many years?
The last at least 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
At least 15.
Yeah, and look at like he's staying. Then we got Wheeler Yuta, and what's funny is this answer would have been different if you'd even asked me just a few months ago. I say we keep Wheeler.
There.
Wheeler. Wardlow. We keep him and make sure he's happy.
There.
Alrighty. Trent Beretta.
Trent Beretta.
We keep him, but keep him, well, and this wouldn't be a problem. We keep him, but keep him away from the pudding gang, as Jim Cornette is so fond of saying.
Yeah.
Keep him away from the goofy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony Nese. I vote for keeping him and stop booking him like a moron.
I agree. Because Tony's a great wrestler. He always has been. I just think he's been booked in the wrong corner.
Tony stays. Okay, so here we get to, and it's great because they're a tag team, so we'll just handle them both together. The Butcher and the Blade.
I like them because they're different.
I don't know that I don't dislike them, but again, I think the fault lies with the booking on this one because they've had some matches that I've really enjoyed. So I'd say we keep them, but we kind of book them differently somehow. Maybe make them win every once in a while.
Yeah, I think we'd book them in a more like dominant role.
Yeah, because I mean their 2022 stats are, and why they're having singles matches, I don't know because they have different stats. But their 2022 stats are 10 and 12 and 11 and 9. So they need to be booked better.
I think I would book them as a monster babyface. Because AEW doesn't have very many tag baby faces.
This is true.
So if we could book them into a monster baby face and then maybe even throw in an extra person.
Well, you already have Allie or the Bunny because she's actually married to the Blade. And she pals around with him anyway.
I'm talking as a male's point of view.
Oh, to do like trio stuff?
Yeah, maybe as like maybe somebody that is almost monster like that could be like the front runner.
I don't know. Butcher's pretty
And like
big. We can agree there's things that can be done.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So next we have the Butcher and the Blade stay. And we have Swerve Strickland.
Swerve.
Here's the thing about Swerve for me. I don't dislike him, but at the same time, I think that they're acting like he's more over than he actually is.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'd probably keep him at least for a little while, and let's see what he can do as a single.
Yeah, because he's been with Keith Lee the past couple months, ain't he?
Yeah. So we keep Swerve, see how he does as a single. Okay. Next, we got Stokely Hathaway. Fire him.
Fire him.
Sorry, Stoke. You picked the stupidest gimmick name ever. All right, and this one's obvious. We got the Stinger.
He's got to stay.
He's staying. Keep him happy. And slowly, and I mean slowly, transition him into more and more of a mentor role as time goes on. But while he can still go, he gets to go when he feels like he can go.
Here's my opinion about Sting, and people may not like it. I think Sting, and he seems like he can handle it, and he seems like he can still be there with the big guys. I think Sting deserves at least one world title run.
Oh, I know. We've been over this, and I liked your idea a lot. Yeah, I agree with you.
And it doesn't have to be long. Run him for 30 days as world champion. If he doesn't pan out and doesn't seem like his body can take up with it, move on from him.
I mean, hell, it doesn't even have to be 30. We said, what's the worst thing that can happen is he gets injured? That's par for the course for AEW champions.
That is true.
Alrighty, so this one's going to be a little controversial, but next up we got Sonny Kiss.
Bye.
See, here's the thing. I think Sonny is very good, very athletic, and was never, ever properly utilized. Now,
so I agree
part of this is Sonny's fault, though. So there are some people out there who dislike Sonny. Oh, give him the stunner and call him Stunny Kiss. I'm kidding. But
don't you?
I'm kidding. Sonny has done some things when he was given the ball, and like for example, he had a special entrance for a special match, and he chose to put more thought, or it seemed like he chose to put more thought into the choreography with the cheerleaders rather than having a good match.
Now, I didn't watch that match, but I did hear about that. I heard
well, I'll put it to you this way. Everybody talked about the entrance. Nobody talked about the match. Now, I understand, and this is where, take this with a grain of salt, because I'm not part of any of these lifestyles. I don't understand it. But to me, I think if Sonny Kiss were to start dressing a little bit differently, because this is not meant to be insensitive, but when you are that different, you are alienating a majority of a mainstream audience. You just are. I know it's not fair. I know it's not right, but you are. And Sonny is too athletically gifted and talented. I would vote to keep Sonny on, but have a little chat and be like, look, Sonny, like, and again, no hate at all, but we think you'd be more successful if you sort of not get rid of all of it, but maybe stop coming to the ring in hoochie shorts and twerking on people is one of your moves. Like maybe back away from that and get into more of the athletic competitive style. And if he doesn't want to go for that, then okay, well, I guess this just isn't gonna fit. But I believe that as the managers, we would at least offer that.
Yeah, I definitely think offer that and try to give another trial while trying to do something else
Yeah,
and see how it goes.
yeah. See how it goes. So a trial run. All right, we got
Yeah.
one more, and then I'll have to start a new meeting, but we should be able to get through everybody. Next, we got Sanjay Dutt. Fire him.
Fire him.
I don't know why he's there.
Fire him.
Okay, actually, we got time for one more. Sean Spears.
I would keep him.
Keep him. Yeah.
I like him.
He's been criminally underutilized.
Very
criminally underutilized. Like, I'll put it to you this way. I'll share this little tidbit, and then we'll start a new meeting. Like, they did this interview with various interviews with when Sean Spears was still Ty Dillinger in WWE. So many people were talking about how when they were rehabbing back from an injury, they wanted to go down to the Performance Center and do like practice matches with Sean Spears because of how damn good he was.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said there. Okay, buddy, I'm going to start a new meeting and we'll get through the rest of the roster.
Yep.
This is very annoying with Zoom. It's so very annoying. So very annoying. Next up, for those that are curious, we've got Captain Sean Dean. We gotcha.
Got me.
All right, next up, we have Captain Sean Dean.
Fire him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go either way with him because, again, he hasn't really had a chance to shine, but at the same time, like, yeah, I'm not going to fight for that. So, tell you what, Sean, we'll use you if we need some enhancement talent for Dark or something. We'll give you a call if you're in the area. If not, see you. But no contract. Next, we got Serpentico.
Okay. Who's Serpentico again? And he with the Death or not Death Triangle, but
he's with Luther.
Okay. He's somebody I can go either way with.
I'd say keep him simply because worst case scenario, he's already shown that he's a good enhancement talent, but I think he's way better.
Okay.
And so Serpentico will stay. Scorpio Sky.
I say keep him.
I say keep him. He's another one. He's been criminally underused. First ever AEW Tag Team Champion. And I don't even remember what happened with the TNT title. He won it, and then it seemed to just disappear. Alrighty, next we got Satnam Singh. I mean, I don't even know who this dude is, so
fire him.
Fire him. I know they brought him in with Sanjay Dutt. I'm going to label these two as a tag team, even though there's rumors that they're going to be splitting up. But Santana and Ortiz, proud and powerful.
I keep them.
Keep them. Fuck yeah. They're so good. There's no question. Samoa Joe.
I would personally keep him. I would book him better, definitely.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but we're keeping him. Sammy Guevara.
If Sammy can keep his mouth shut, I'd keep him.
Oh, no. We don't want him to keep his mouth shut. We just want to direct it. Sammy, and this really goes for any of the four pillars of AEW. I want to keep them, make sure they're happy because you can work with that pillars thing. You just need more time for it to have more impact. But they're all good. Sammy's phenomenal in the ring, and as a lot of people say, he's got that punchable face, which makes him a really good heel. He's a smarmy, like, but he can also be a baby face when he wants to, or when you need him to be. He can do both, but he's real good at being that. Just I want to punch him in the face.
He does have a punchable face.
He does have a punchable face. Ricky Starks.
You said who again?
Ricky Starks.
I like Ricky.
Keep him. Yep. Yep. Ricky stays. Rey Fenix. Well, we'll just go ahead and do the Lucha Brothers.
They could
keep them.
Stay.
Keep them. QT Marshall.
Oh.
You know what? I think he's worth having.
Yeah, I think he's worth having. I think he's worth keeping too.
I think he's underrated in the ring, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense because most people see him as like, he's not a comedy wrestler, but it's the way he's been used. He's been kind of like almost a joke enhancement talent, but he's actually pretty good. Oh wow, I thought he got fired. Peter Avalon.
I don't recognize who he is, to be honest.
The male librarian.
Oh,
fired.
Fire.
Preston Vance. Or number 10 of the Dark Order.
I think keep him as long as he's part of the Dark Order.
No, I disagree. Keep him and get that stupid mask off him as quickly as possible.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah. Get it off of him. Get him away from the Dark Order because, boy, man, I loved the Dark Order. I hate to say it this way, but right after Brody Lee died, I loved the Dark Order. And then they've managed to ruin it. They were made as baby faces, and they've managed to kill it. So now I think, honestly, you just dissolve the whole thing because it's not working anymore. Like, the Dark Order is now the JOB squad.
Okay.
All right. Next, we've got Powerhouse Hobbs. I say keep him and make sure he's happy. Because he's a powerhouse. We got Paul White.
I don't think he's needed.
I don't think he's needed, but I think here's what I would say. I'd tell him and be like, hey, Paul, listen. If you want to stick around, like, and not just in ring stuff, I think he'd probably be worth having around simply for what he can do outside of the ring. I'd keep him. But it'd be kind of a thing where like, hey man, if you want to wrestle, let us know. But if you really don't want to wrestle, like we've got plenty that you can do elsewhere.
I think okay. I will agree to keep him only because I think he is a legend-like person to have around for somebody to go to for advice.
Yep.
And then, like you said, wrestle if needed to.
Yep. All right, next we got somebody who apparently is part of a tag team of the Trust Busters. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even see them wrestle. So I move that the Trust Busters be put on that same probationary status.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Pac.
I'd say keep him.
Keep him, but use him differently because he's being criminally underused. All right, so this one's gonna shock some people. We got Orange Cassidy, And I say keep him.
Oh, I know. Yes. He's too liked by the fans.
That's what it comes down to. And again, and there's a video you can check out on the channel of where I compare why Orange Cassidy's gimmick works and Danhausen's doesn't. The one caveat is that since Orange Cassidy is staying, he cannot be used in. Well, I guess he can't. I don't know. If he was going for a title or something majorly serious, you'd have to do it perfectly. Otherwise, it's just going to look like a farce. But it can be done. It would just have to be done carefully.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he's definitely a TNT-like champion.
At best. All right. Next, we've got the Young Bucks.
I would keep them as wrestlers and not producers, in my opinion.
See, here's the thing, though, and I don't know what happened. The Young Bucks are very creative guys. I think they're best used when they're not booking themselves, though.
Yeah.
Because it was
they
actually
booked herself in weird
predicaments. Well, and here's the funny thing. I guess not a lot of people know this, but they came up with the whole SCU thing.
Did they?
Yeah, that was the Bucks.
Did not know that.
And being the Elite was, I mean, it's kind of gone downhill, but for a while, being the Elite was insanely clever. They did this one bit that I don't know why I found it so funny. They were making fun of like the wrestling backstage brawls that break out. And they did it, but then as the camera pulls out, and then Scorpio Sky's in a towel. And he's trying to pull dudes apart, and the towel's coming up. So he's like, oh my God, that was so funny. It's got like the group of guys pulling them apart, but Scorpio Sky's in a towel.
Okay.
Alrighty. So next we've got Nick Camarado.
Nick Camarado.
He's the big, burly, furry dude.
Don't think I recognize that name, to be honest.
I would say keep him. Because he's another one who he could be in a tag team with Brock Anderson, for example, if you wanted to go that. Or I mean, he's not a bad wrestler. He just hasn't been seen. But he's big. He's believable. And he's obviously strong. So I think there's something there.
Yeah.
And he's still on the roster. Yeah. So I mean, and this next one's still on the roster page. So I guess we got Malachi Black. See, I want to keep him, but I don't want him to book himself.
Yeah.
I want him to have input, because what inevitably happens, because there are people out there, and not just in wrestling, there are people out there that are super creative, but they're so creative that they can't really pin anything down. Mm-hmm. So he's one of those people. I'd want him to have input on the character, but not necessarily have final say. But it would be one of those things where if he was very adamant about something, we'd probably go with it.
I think so, yeah. As long as we can work together with him.
Which I don't think, because, I mean, they did that in NXT. All right, next one, MJF. Keep him, add an extra 0 to his annual salary, and make sure that he's happy. Miro.
I think keep him, but I think he's going to be better booked.
Yeah, 100%. Michael Nakazawa.
I don't recognize the name.
He's the dude who's always Kenny Omega's little lackey, always holding the laptop. Does the baby oil spot.
Get rid of him.
Get out of here. Only reason he is there is because of Kenny Omega. All right, the Acclaimed.
Keep him.
Keep him. Keep him hard. Matt Sydal.
I think he's somebody to keep if he's better utilized.
Yeah, 100%. Been a fan of his all the way back since he was Evan Bourne. What is it? 2.0. Fire
I
him.
don't know. I'm not sure.
Fire him.
Fire him.
I'm going to do the Hardys individually. Matt Hardy.
I think he's there as a good speaker for the younger talent and somebody that can be put with the younger talent to help get them over.
Yep. I say he stays. Then we got Private Party.
Private.
I mean,
I don't care either way.
I'd say keep them, but use them way better than they have been because they're good. They just don't get a chance to show it. Particularly Mark Quinn. Not to say Isaiah Cassidy's bad, but Mark Quinn is a whole freak athlete. Smart Mark Sterling.
Get him out of here.
Oh, come on. Keep him.
Kidding. I like him.
I love Smart Mark.
I like yeah, for the line.
This one I suspect will be in the same vein as Paul White. Mark Henry.
I think he's still in the same ballpark. I mean, we haven't seen Mark wrestle at all, but if you wanted to, I'd let him.
I don't know that he's there to wrestle. I think he's there to... He's another person you could potentially have on commentary too, because he's done it before and he's been good. But for the love of God, stop his segment for the main event of Rampage. It's time for the main event. It's time for you to do something else. So Mark Henry stays.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
Okay, Luther.
I don't care either way.
On the one hand, he's experienced, but on the other hand, experienced with what? I don't know. What do you think, America? I honestly don't know. And since I don't know, I say fire him.
Fire him.
Fire him. Okay, Luchasaurus.
I like him. Keep him.
Yep, keep
He's
him.
over with the crowd.
Yep, keep him.
And honestly, I would turn Luchasaurus heel.
Is he not? I thought he was.
And he may be.
I don't know.
He's with Jungle Boy right now.
They flip back and forth. I don't know. But either way, Luchasaurus stage. Okay, I think we're going to disagree on this one. Lee Moriarty.
I'm not sure who he is, so...
A lot of people like him. I don't get it.
Fire him.
Fire him. Lee Johnson. Keep him. That kid's good.
Is he?
Yeah, that kid's good.
I haven't seen much of him.
He was kind of he was pretty much Cody's protege before Cody left.
Was he?
Yeah. Also, last I knew, he was dating Julia Hart. I don't know if they still are, but after that stunt they pulled at Grand Slam, though, I don't know how Lee Johnson can be happy with management letting, if she is still his girlfriend, letting, well, I don't know how anybody can be happy with that company letting her do that stupid spot that almost killed her. Like, literally, if she'd been 1 inch further, she would be dead.
Yeah.
Like, and for what? For what? Why is Julia Hart, who I think is now 20 years old, going through tables? Come on, AEW. Do better. Next, we got Lance Archer.
I like Lance. I think he's a keeper.
I like Lance. I don't know what to do with him. But we can figure that out, but he stays. Kyle O'Reilly.
My opinion, I say let go of him.
I'll be real here. Not gonna lie. I would talk to Kyle and say, Kyle, we like you. We want you to stay, but if you want to leave, I guess what do you want to do? Because I think he's good enough, but Bobby Fish is already gone, so you can't do Red Dragon. I guess if Adam Cole stays, which I don't foresee happening, you could tag team him with Adam Cole and sort of build up his singles chops too, but
yeah.
So I just sit down and have a conversation with Kyle and be like, what do you want to do? We'd love to have you, but we're not going to force you.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
All right, next we got Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian. I don't know who that is.
Fire him. It's not that it's not that I dislike Kip Sabian. It's just I've never been like, oh, a Kip Sabian match. All right, next we got Twinkle Toes McFingerbang himself, Kenny Omega.
Fire him!
No. Kenny stays, but Kenny does not book himself.
Yeah, I was joking. Yeah, we can keep him.
Oh, we should keep him. But he does not book himself. He is given scripted promos. And
I think okay. I will allow him to have an input.
Yeah, an input, but I want to know what he's going to say because he's demonstrated that he can't fucking talk. Alrighty, so Kenny stays with restrictions. And honestly, if he's pitching a fit about that, there's the door, Kenny. Good luck convincing Triple H to hire you. And good luck getting back in with New Japan because they weren't too happy with you either. All right, Keith Lee.
Keep him. Keep him happy. He's a big guy. He can work good.
Yeah, and this, again, Keith Lee's another guy. I don't get it, but I hear the audience, and Keith Lee stays. Jungle Boy.
Keep him.
Keep him.
God loves him.
I've laid out my long-term plans for Jungle Boy on the podcast previously. So, yeah, Jungle Boy stays. John Moxley.
So, I say keep him, but we were going to utilize him more as not as a backup world champion.
Yep.
And be champion to be champion.
And we're gonna cut down on the bleeding, John. Save that for the big shows. But he says, okay, John Silver.
Who? Because I'm not sure.
Johnny Hungy.
Oh. Yeah.
Crowd loves him. For the wrong reasons, but crowd loves him. Yeah, I say keep him, but I don't. Yeah, just keep him. Okay. This one's going to come with a caveat for sure, but Jeff Hardy.
Here's what I would do. I would keep him, but there will be a weekly drug test taken and breathalyzer before every show. Before he can step on a premises, he's taken a breathalyzer to show that he is clean.
Yep, that was the caveat I was referring to as well, and not to mention if need be, counseling and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd love for him to stay and be part of the Hardys, but if he can't not hurt people in the ring, then. Alrighty. Next, we got Jay Lethal.
I love him. Keep him. I think he deserves a world title run, maybe. Or
I agree.
TNT.
I agree, but they're doing everything they can to kill him. Yeah, Jay Lethal stays. Jake Hager.
I don't care about him. He's okay to stay in the Chris Jericho group.
Yeah, and plus he's it's good to have a few big guys. So yeah, I'd say keep him. This one I'll fight you for. Hook.
He's over with the crowd. So I would say keep him. I think he needs some more work? Yes, I do.
Oh, sure, but he's also very young, so Hook, okay, so and this is something that they've talked about previously, but they don't talk about often. And AEW has a recipe to get a lot of the younger female demographic with some of the stars they have. They're just not utilizing them. Guys like Hook, guys like Sammy, guys like Darby, guys like Jungle Boy, guys like Griff Garrison, who is next on the list.
Bye.
Well, I'm either or, but I think with just more experience he could be better, and plus he's in a tag team with Brian Pillman Jr. So
yeah, but how much have we really seen from them?
Like, we haven't, but that would change if I were in charge. But here's the thing, this is an interesting point. I don't think Brian Pillman Jr. needs a tag team partner, but I think Griff Garrison does.
Yeah.
So I could take him or leave him. But then again, Dark, you need people to wrestle on Dark.
Keep him for Dark.
Keep him for Dark, at least for now. Kind of the same. Fuego del Sol.
Keep him for Dark.
Keep him for Dark and a jobber. Frankie Kazarian.
I like him. He's a bit unusual.
He's been used like shit.
Yeah.
But I like him. Keep him. Evil Uno.
Keep him, yeah. I don't know.
I say fire him. They already fired his tag team partner, the good one. I think he's going to get fired anyway. I think this is a case of he just has more on his contract.
Fire him.
Fire him. All right. Ethan Page. I'm about to piss the internet off. I say fire him.
Do. Now yeah. Why do you do that?
Because where Ethan Page should be on the card, I can't imagine, other than a very small section of the fan base being like, oh my God, an Ethan Page match. Or Ethan Page is going to be on Dynamite this week. I have to watch that. I just don't.
So but maybe keep him and do a character change?
Maybe,
except it up a little bit.
Except he's done character changes, and I've always felt the same way. But I'll put it this way: I don't feel so strongly about it that I would fight over it. So, if you want Ethan Page to stay, by God, Ethan Page will stay. Alrighty, so Ethan Page will stay. Next, we have Eddie Kingston.
Oh,
he stays.
He stays.
Gets booked better.
But I do think he's got a mouth of his own now.
He's got a what?
I do think he's definitely got a mouth on him.
Well, yeah, that's why he's staying.
Okay.
Next, we got Dustin Rhodes.
Keep him.
Keep him. Yep. And when he's sick and tired of wrestling, he gets to be a coach or do whatever he wants. But as long as he wants to wrestle, he's wrestling. Next, we got FTR.
Keep him.
Keep them and pay them more and make them happy and treat them like the top guys they are. Top Flight.
Top Flight.
It's his brother Darius was out on an injury for a while. Dante Martin, you probably remember.
Okay, yeah. I would say keep them.
Oh, keep them. They're good. Oh, Dante Martin's another, and Darius would be in here too. He just hadn't been on TV for because he had a sick injury. Like it was bad. They're another, part of the roster that would kind of could be used to get more female viewership in because they're young, good-looking guys. We got Darby Allin. He stays. You agree Darby Allin stays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep him.
Yeah. Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia.
He is the current ROH Pure Champion, and it's funny because Daniel Garcia started out as somebody that I really didn't care for, but have grown to really become a fan of and appreciate.
Okay. I feel like he can keep it, and I feel like he would be a great mid-carder.
For now, he's another guy that's really young. So there's lots of miles still left. Okay, next we have Danhausen.
We know your opinion.
Actually, this may surprise you. Because I would say keep him. I would say keep him.
I completely agree with keep him.
I've gone over what I would change, or how I would, I shouldn't say I would change, but how I would use him in a company like AEW. But yeah, he's worth keeping on the roster for merchandise sales alone. And for some reason, he's over with the crowd, which, here's the problem though. When I say he's over with the crowd, I mean he's over with the AEW crowd. I don't think he'd be over with a wider mainstream audience, but that's why I wouldn't use him as much. He would just kind of be there. All right, we got 10 minutes, but I think we can knock it out. The Gun Club, specifically Colton and Austin.
Keep them.
Yeah, keep them. They're good. Colt Cabana.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, I'm okay with him going down to Ring of Honor. So, yeah. CM Punk.
Get rid of him.
No, don't get rid of him. Are you insane?
Yes.
Yes, you are insane.
Okay, really think about it.
I am.
What has he done?
Gave them their
what
first
has he done?
Gave them their first $1 million house ever. Gave them their first 1 million viewers ever on an episode of Dynamite. Gave them their first $1 million pay-per-view gate. Topped off their merchandise sales in less than a week.
Okay,
sold out an arena in Chicago based on the rumor that he was going to be there.
Now think about this and tell me if I'm wrong. Did Daniel Bryan not debut that night too?
No, I don't think he did. He debuted at a pay-per-view.
Okay, who was it that both? There was two people that debuted at the. Okay, maybe it wasn't.
That was Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole. They both debuted at a pay-per-view.
Okay, that's who it was. My bad then. I thought it was Daniel Bryan debuted the same time as CM Punk.
No, I believe I believe Bryan Danielson debuted on Punk's first match, but not his first appearance.
Okay, from that standpoint of view, I think I can agree to keep him. I just feel like I'm tired of hearing him talk all the time.
That's what he does.
That's all. I know. We can keep him.
Gotta say, all right, CM Punk stays. Claudio Castagnoli.
Keep him.
Yeah, keep him. I don't think he'll be in AEW for as long as he can help it, but all right, Chuck Taylor.
The name sounds familiar, but I'm not putting two and two together.
He was Trent's tag team partner, the Best Friends.
Um,
Fire him.
Fire him.
Fire him. Christopher Daniels.
Keep him.
Keep him there till he wants to retire. Christian Cage.
Keep him.
Yep. Keep him. Use him better, but keep him. Chris Jericho.
Keep him.
Keep him. Make sure he's happy. Buddy Matthews.
Buddy Matthews. He's another one of them iffy guys. I think.
See, I think he should stay because he's good. I just don't. I think his debut was the shits, and how they've been using him is also the shits.
Yeah.
Like, why is he in House of Black?
I think.
What about him screams paranoia? I mean, paranoia. Paranormal.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I say keep him, but use him way different. Brian Danielson, as if we have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep him. Brody King.
Keep him.
Ugh. Fire his ass.
What?
Fire him. What's he done? Has Brody King put a single ass in a single seat? That
You
wouldn't
put me in front of the TV.
that has Brody King put someone in front of the TV or in an arena that wouldn't have been there anyway?
Okay. I get your point.
Like, he's taking money out of payroll, but is he bringing money in?
Okay, so I see what you're getting at. I think we could use him as a sparingly.
Okay.
Because I do think he's a good big guy.
Okay, you can use him sparingly. Brock Anderson.
Fire him.
Oh no, keep him. He's Arn Anderson's kid. There's booking all over there. Yeah, I say keep Brock. Yeah, tell you what, let me keep Brock Anderson. You can have Brody King. We'll trade.
Okay. I agree with you on that.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Keep him.
Keep him.
Name value alone.
Yeah. Brian Cage.
Keep him.
Keep him. I thought you were going to say fire him. He's fucking great. Brandon Cutler. Fire him.
Fire him.
Billy Gunn.
Keep him.
Keep him. Anthony Ogogo.
Where did he go? Fire him.
I don't know. Yeah, I say fire him. Angelico. You know what? I like Angelico, but I don't see because his tag team partner got released, or I guess his contract didn't get renewed. I guess that's more accurate, but I don't know. I'd say, me personally, I'd like to see him on as a trial because he was an awesome singles competitor in Lucha Underground. In fact, he's responsible for probably my favorite Lucha Underground spot ever.
Keep him.
Andrade El Idolo.
I feel like if we better book him, I think we should keep him.
I agree. Alex Reynolds, who is John Silver's tag team partner.
Keep him.
Yeah, I think he's worth keeping around just because he's John Silver's tag team partner. All right, we got 3 more. Adam Page.
Keep him.
Keep him. Yeah, just book him way better. Adam Cole.
Keep him.
Yep, if you can.
Why not?
And then finally, last and maybe least, I don't know, Aaron Solo.
I'm not.
Enhancement.
Who's he with?
He's with the factory, so enhancement talent. There we go. We just went through and fired some people from the AEW roster. And we only have 2 minutes left of this meeting, so I'm going to lead us out real quick. But good show, everyone. Thank you for enjoying this episode of Down the Middle. As always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check out our audio streaming platforms if you would just prefer to listen, which is including but not limited to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Radio Now, Audible, I already said Spotify, Stitcher, and I'm sure there's others that I'm simply forgetting. Make sure to check out the sponsor of today's podcast, Stevie Wicks Cool Beans Candle Company. Get your Halloween candles while they last. And as always, watch wrestling. That's also to us because I've been really bad about it lately.
I've been bad about AEW, so I'm right there with you.
I've been bad about wrestling, but I've been busy. And nothing in wrestling has been screaming, watch me. So I could be wrong.
Like I said, you watch Extreme Rules and then you let me know.
I will have to check out Extreme Rules. But until then, we shall see you on the next one. But for now, go home.
Bye.